shit high, cause I got them salty. Yeah, I see the game from a distance. I'm young and I'm gifted like I came on Christmas. I got my bread up and head to the sky. I just wanna do it big.
But yeah.
That's something that a lot of artists don't know.
Yeah.
Because that happens a lot
Yeah.
in music.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's taking like beats or lyrics or, you know, the song, there sometimes are artists who don't have their things in order.
Yeah. But it's a tricky game though, because it's like everybody kind of think the same when it comes to music. So it's like, and don't get it twisted too. Music, hip hop was built on samples. So meaning like it's ideas, it's creations. Meaning like they come up with this idea with a combination of other ideas and other creations and put them into one. You know what I'm saying? So hip hop was built on that. Yeah. So hip hop was, you know, basically based off ideas and other people's creations. So say like if you do something and she does something, and I hear it, and I hear something I like, all right, let me take a little bit of that, let me take a little bit of that, but put my spin on it, you know?
To be honest, yeah, a lot of the new, like the older things, like especially like in the bad boy era, Biggie used a lot of samples from R&B, and not just him, like
everybody, Jay-Z, Nas, that's what it is, like the 90s take from the 80s, 2000s take from the 90s and 80s and whatever, and it just goes like that.
And even now, I hear a lot of current songs that reference like the 90s.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something that happens a lot.
And with like common catchphrases and certain words and stuff like that. Like, prime example, I came out with a song called Big League probably like 4 months ago. So next thing you know, I'm on Instagram and OT Genesis come out with a record called Big League. So I'm like, I can't catch a break. But Big League is it's a common word that anybody can use, and anybody, it's like, you know what I'm trying to say. So it's like, damn, I couldn't be mad at them. Like, all right, what I gotta say is like, great minds think alike. So it's just like, he pushing his, I'm pushing mine, whatever. You know, so, but that situation, it wasn't like he heard mine and mine inspired his. It's just we kind of had the same idea. Two totally different records, but we just had the same idea, you know? So with that situation, that was kind of different. But I'm just saying, like, just to show you, like, this game is hard because it's like everybody got the same idea. That's like prime example, something goes viral on the internet. Like say like, prime example, Kanye sells his sneakers for $1 million. Next thing you know, everybody gonna try to come up with a record pertaining to that with the same idea. You know what I mean? It might be done differently because everybody got different ideas and stuff, but it's the same idea. You know, I mean, it's the same. The creative process may be different because everybody's mind is different, but everybody have the same concept, the same idea about making a record based on that. You know, so it's kind of like it's tricky with it. You know, so it's like you just got to make sure. I mean, the best way to kind of like step away from that is just try to be yourself and be different. So you gotta have the same ideas and same concepts as another artist, but being that you're different, it should be different. You know what I mean? It should stand out differently from that person. So the best way, I mean, I can honestly say is like, don't really copy another artist. I mean, you could be inspired, but put your twist to it. You know what I mean? Like, cause right now, like, it's crazy because like, on the side note, like A Boogie, when he came out, he was doing the melodic thing and singing, and now there's a whole bunch of rappers that sound like A Boogie. You know what I mean? Now, you know, people was doing drill music, but Pop Smoke kind of infused it with the beats from like London and stuff like that, and he started a new wave, and everybody else trying to do the same exact thing and sound just like him. So I mean, I'm not knocking people hustle, but as for me, that's not me. Like, you know, because even when I was rapping, people used to be like, yo, you should try to rap like Fetty Wap, because me and Fetty from the same town as well. I'm from Patterson too, and I'm from Hackensack, but oh, you should try to rap like Monty. You should try to rap like Fetty. I'm like, I used to get mad because I'm like, damn, should I or should I not? Then the guy who I actually started doing music with, he was like, nah, bro, like, stick to yourself because you have a unique sound. You got a unique voice. You don't sound like nobody else. So it took me a while to kind of like understand and really get what he was saying. Now I do, because it's like when you hear my music, I don't sound like nobody. Even if I'm doing a melodic record or some street shit or some up-tempo shit, when you hear my voice, you're gonna know it's me. So that's a blessing that I feel like a lot of artists don't have. Even when it comes down to the voice, like Pop Smoke was different too because his voice was dope. It was different, you know? And that's what helped him stand out from everybody else. You know what I mean? I think I kind of got the same thing. You know what I mean? But basically what I want to say is just be yourself. You could take a little bit of stuff, ideas, you could be inspired. I'm not saying you can't, but just make sure you be true to yourself and you're going to stand out from everybody else. That's just going to make you different from everybody else, basically.
And when you're writing, what are some of the things that inspires you? What are some of the things that you're thinking about?
A little bit of everything. Okay. It could be females, it could be relationships, it could be a conversation that I'm having with a friend of mine, and I could just take like a little something and put it in the verse. Anything, you know, like there's no limitations to it. Like, you know, that's another thing too, like with me, like I'm not scared to do like Caribbean stuff. I'm not scared to do street stuff. I'm not scared to do pop stuff. I do whatever. If I like the beat, I like the beat. I'm just gonna write something to it and I'm gonna make it work, you know?
So what's next? You said you have a new project coming out. Is that going to be another Images Everything?
Nah, I'm done. I'm done with the Images Everything. Okay. And just like sidetrack for Images Everything, the reason why I chose that title is because with anybody, it's not like, I'm not just talking about like image as far as like how you dress and what you drive in and all that other stuff. It's more about your persona, because it's like before you even open your mouth, when you walk in a room, they judging you on how you move. You know what I'm saying? It's about your image too, but it's deeper than how you talk, how you carry yourself, how respectful you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how to hold a conversation. As you show up to interviews on time. My bad, I was late today. My bad. But all that stuff is basically about your character. But that's like when I first met you, I didn't know you like that. But you was, you know, kind of quiet, stay to yourself. You did what you had to do, and I'm like, oh, all right, she cool. Like she not extra. She don't be in no extra drama. She not with no problems. She just be herself. Like she a good person. And that's what I meant by Images Everything. More so not about like the material things, but it's about your character, your persona as a person, because that's the first thing that people are gonna judge you off of. You know what I mean? And it could be any little thing. Cause like my man's told me, he said, it's not really about the music. It's about the music, but they gotta like you as a person before they actually like your music. You know, if that makes any sense. So that's why I came up with the concept, like Images Everything. Like, prime example, like I'm drinking this, I don't know how to, the spring water or whatever. Somebody might be like, damn, can't drink water? He ain't go up there with no liquor? I like him. You know, he healthy. You know, he doing what you gotta do. I fucks with him, you know? It could be something so little like that, or like, I'm wearing a black and white baseball jacket, or I got a Movado watch, and be like, oh, he like Movados? He like baseball jackets? Damn, I fucks with him. Let me check out his music. It's like stuff like that. That's what make people really get like intrigued with what you're doing. You know what I mean? It's like your character, you know? So that's what I meant by Images Everything. Because a lot of people ask me that. They be like, oh, you talking about materialistic stuff and da-da-da. I'm like, nah, it's not. It's that, but it's kind of deeper than that. It's not really that. It's about how you carry yourself. You know what I mean? What you stand for, you know?
So if you listen to your lyrics, you could tell it's not all about materialism.
Yeah. I try to like stay away from that, but then also you kind of got to put it in there a little bit because it is rap. Like that's what it's, you know, it's about. You got to brag, talk your shit, but I kind of like not make it all about that. But my next record that's coming out is All I Know. Shout out to Mantra and Zone 6 Danny. They produced the actual track. Shout out to Alex. That's one of the top engineers in the game. That's Travis Scott, Young Thug and them engineer. He mixed the record. And shout out to Rich Keller. He mastered the record. He been in the game for like 30 years. He started off with Wu-Tang, Onyx. Ended up working with Rough Riders. Him and DMX was like this. He was DMX's main like engineer and stuff like that for his beats and them. So he mastered the record. Shout out to him. And the project is gonna be called Rackboy SZN.
Okay.
Yeah. So I switched it up a little bit this time. Yeah.
And I guess other than your new project and your new track, what's next for you?
I'm just grinding, you know, until I get the right type of situation falls in my lap as far as like a deal or whatever to kind of take the music to another level. You know what I mean? Probably get a couple features. You never know. I don't want to talk too soon about it, but I'm trying to get us some major features, you know, your favorite artist that's popping right now. And just keep leveling up, just keep going, never stopping.
My last question,
Mm-hmm.
How has it been being an independent artist? Do you think you would prefer having, I guess, a label situation? How's it been?
It's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy. And, you know, being that with me, I drop a lot of records. I drop a lot of projects, like I keep going. So you know what that means. Every time you drop a record, you gotta have a budget behind it. So it's constantly money keep being spent and coming and you know, being spent over time. And it's like, it gets to a point, it's like, all right, it's cool, but it's kind of like you don't want that engine support from the label because like they make miracles, you know. And not to say every artist that's signed to a label get popping, because that's not the case. But I know with my music, I make a lot of like mainstream type of music that I feel like radio records and stuff like that. So I feel like if I was to get the engine, or when I get the engine, it's gonna definitely propel me to a whole different type of level. You know what I mean? And some people do say the records that I do make are kind of too big for me. Meaning like, the type of records that I make or mainstream, they need a certain type of marketing. So, so yeah. But I'm definitely looking forward to finding a home, a partnership for my label, Rackboy Entertainment. Once I get that, put Jersey on the map, sign some artists, put them on, and just keep leveling up, you know, jump into different things, you know, fashion and movies and different things like that, you know. So yeah.
I'm always cutting checks, they see me drinking Bel Air. Yeah, and I just